What is going on, everybody? This is Dave and welcome back to another installment of Wolves Weekly. For any new subscribers to the channel, welcome. This is a weekly series on the channel where we talk all the Wolves news, gossip and everything that has happened within the Molineux over the last week or so. It's normally on a Wednesday, but obviously today we're uploading it on a Thursday due to the fact that we had the City game on Tuesday and I wanted to get the match day vlog for that out as well. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you go and check the match day vlog for the Man City match after the video. So I said in the last video we had a question of the day, and it was if any Wolves record could have been broken or sort of a historic moment happening during your lifetime as a Wolves fan, what would it be and why? And we had so many answers for this. We had a good amount. So Charlie Wright says break the record, the point record in the Championship, which is definitely doable this season, hopefully. So that's what he wanted to do. Kashmir wants to become champions of England. That would be the biggest party in the city's history. It's up there. It definitely would be. We had a couple of people as well that said win the league with record points again. Rabbi HD, he said he'd love to see Ruben Neves, Diogo Jota, etc. be in a World Cup winning team. Lenners would like to see Diogo to break the most goals ever in a championship season. Ollie Carter wants to score the most goals in one game. And Robert said he wants a Wolves player to be captain of any home nation for a record time. So the longest captain of Ireland, Wales, England, Scotland, etc. as well. And Psycho Blank, he wants to see a record appearance holder come through the academy to show some kind of loyalty to the club that you see like players in Steven Gerrard and John Terry. Thanks for all those answers as well, guys. Keep those up. Obviously, there will be a question of the day today, so make sure you listen out for that, and make sure you leave your comment section. Well, leave your comments in the comment section down below. So it's been a really busy week as a Wolves fan. Not only did we have 2 games over the last 7 days or so, but there has been some other news as well. So quickly now we're going to go over some of that news. So the game against Birmingham City in a few weeks' time, it was away obviously at St Andrews, has now been moved due to Sky TV, and that is now going to be played on Monday the 4th of December. Not the best sort of day for an away game, especially to your closest rivals. Well, one of your closest rivals at least. So Monday night now due to Sky TV, which is, so it's Monday night football with Wolves. Hopefully it should be a good game. Obviously they're under new management and so on now, but normally well, policing is going to be crazy for that now, and obviously people moaning because they haven't got time off work and so on. But yeah, a game moved for Sky. Obviously after our win versus Aston Villa on TV, I think there'll be a few more of those coming up. Jack Price has also signed a new contract at the club. I think it's got an extra 18 months on his contract because he was out of contract. The summer just gone. Gave him a 1-year extension, so it would have expired at the end of this year. A bit of a strange one, but I suppose it's always going to add value to him as a player, especially say if we get promoted and so on. He's probably not going to be needed, if I'm honest, in the Premier League, but with a slightly longer contract we get a little bit more value out of him, and that's probably the reason around it. But he had a really good game against Manchester City along with Alfred Ndiaye in the middle, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets a little bit more game time now throughout the rest of the season. And obviously we had the Manchester City Wolves game. We're going to be talking about that very shortly, but first we'll talk about the league game, which was 1st versus 5th, Preston versus Wolves last week on Saturday. And it was a game I was quite nervy for because Preston were a really good defensive side in the league, one of the best defensive sides in the league. They'd committed the most fouls, got the most bookings, but it shows they were getting stuck in and so on, and that's why they were doing so well in the league. So I was a little bit nervous coming up to this game, but we very, very comfortably took a 3-goal lead. Leo Bonatini with a 2 after half-time, after Ivan Cavallero's first half goal. Bonatini was really good in that game. Such a great poacher, scoring so many goals already, a lot more than I feel what people would have expected, but we put our foot off the gas a little bit. We let Preston come back in the game, scoring 2 goals. Obviously, it was conceding an own goal as well, and it was really, really worrying towards the later stages of the game. But thankfully, we came out with the win in the end. You can go and check out the matchday vlog for that game. Again, a link to that will be at the end of the video, and you can catch all my thoughts on that game too. So then, the Manchester City game. What a game it was. I'd imagine a lot of you guys watching this went to this game, and it was brilliant. 0-0 draw against arguably one of the best teams in the world right now, if I'm honest. Taking them to 90 minutes. taking them to 120 minutes at 0-0 is phenomenal. And I said it on the video, on another day we could have beat them at that penalty shootout. It was just one of those. It's a lottery of the draw. Will Norris played all 4 games in the League Cup, did not concede a single goal. We didn't concede a single goal for the whole of the competition, and we're still somehow knocked out. It's horrible to think that Manchester City's starting 11 was £278 million. It wasn't one of their weaker sides. Okay, they rotated a couple of players, but arguably their 2 best players were playing, Aguero and Gabriel Jesus. They brought in £183 million worth of substitutes, and we started with £16.5 million. A majority of that is surely going to be Helder Costa as well, who started the game on Tuesday. It shows how decent we were, as Claudio Bravo got man of the match for them. The Man City fans obviously very, very grateful. He made 3 or 4 crucial stops during the game where Brighton and Bakary probably could have bagged a couple of goals, and so could Helder Costa. Bright at the moment is the complete player bar his final product, and to be honest, he's running so quick into that other half, and all he has to do is stick the ball in the back of the net. There's going to be so much pressure on him. The lad's out of breath and so on, and it's annoying, but he's got to be putting away one of those 3 chances. Helder Costa had a great chance as well. It was a smart stop by Bravo too, so he got man of the match, obviously saving a couple of penalties too, which saw Manchester City through the draw. There was slight confusion yesterday though, a couple of papers reporting it regarding Man City. It happened to Arsenal as well, where you get one extra substitute in extra time. Now Manchester City made 2 subs in that time, which would have been their 3rd and 4th, but there was some confusion over the rules, whether you were only allowed 1 substitute in extra time regardless, or whether you just get 4 overall if you get into extra time. So Man City made the 2, and there were talks of them and Arsenal either being disqualified from the Carabao Cup or the match being replayed. Nothing really more is being said. I think the talks are probably being rubbish, but it will be very interesting to see if anything else is said. Obviously, Pep Guardiola had a moan about the match day ball yesterday. No other club, no other manager has complained about it. I think it was a little bit of bitterness from him as a little bit of an excuse to explain why they couldn't score past us on Tuesday. But we were very, very good. I thought we had the better chances against Man City. I thought we had the bigger chance of winning, and unfortunately, we couldn't put that away. Also, Steve Morgan was spotted at the Manchester City game wearing his Wolves scarf as well. He was sat behind Larry Dalrymple and Jeff Shee, who were both at the game as well. There should be a picture on the screen now. That was put on Twitter by Tim Spears. Wolves were the first team, though, to stop Manchester City from scoring in 90 minutes since Manchester United in April, which is a ridiculously good record or good stat for Wolves. It bodes well, and as long, I think at the moment for us, we have no worries going forward. It's a lot of the time, despite us being pretty solid at the back, it's just turning off for 1 minute and just letting these teams slip in and grab a goal. And judging that performance, sitting back, getting them on the counter-attack. I said it in my vlog, we got it 99% right on Tuesday. The only other 1% was just putting the ball in the back of the net. So another final stat as well is a year ago yesterday, so it would have been the 25th, Walter Zenga was sacked as Wolves manager, and what a change we've had since then. We had a little stint with Rob Edwards in charge, Paul Lambert in charge, and now we're having a fantastic start under Nuno Espirito Santo as well. Although, Zenga had all the passion and so on, it's probably, everything turns out for a reason, and at the moment we are doing the business under Nuno. So, we have got Jack now, who's going to be giving his quick reviews on the Preston and Manchester City game. If any of you guys want to get involved in this, all you have to do is, if you go to the game, leave me a small video review. You can DM it to me on Twitter, which is down in the description, down below, at Azzopardi FM. You DM that to me and let me know if you want it on Wolves Weekly, and we can get it on there for you. So this is Jack. He's going to give his quick minute review or so. You can go and check him out. He goes to a lot of the home and away games. Some of the away games I miss, Jack goes to as well. So make sure you subscribe to his channel and you can go check out his vlogs for those.
So we started the week off with a game against Preston, first v 5th. And we did, in fact, beat them 3-2. However, not being at our best again and still managing to win the games was a promising sign. We were 3-0 up and cruising, and then we went the typical Wolves way and decided to allow them back into the game, which meant we was on edge for the last 15-20 minutes. But thankfully, we grinded it out and got the 3 points. City was completely different, playing our second string team. Nuno giving the other players a chance, and we battled so hard and we was very unfortunate to lose on penalties. It was gutting how we went out, but we could hold our heads up high with the performance we gave. In reality, we had the best 4 chances of the game, with Bright having 3 of them. But it just wasn't his day. The cut was always a bonus for us. Nuno obviously was mainly focused on the league, so now we can entirely focus on that now up until when we get the FA Cup in January.
And the final thing is our question of the week. Now, we spoke a lot about Manchester City, which if we won would have been an absolute dream game, and I'm sure it would have been the best game that most Wolves fans have ever been to. But if we could play one team right now, any team in the world, who would it be and why? Would it be a dream match? Would it just be to play West Brom and try and get the bragging rights over the Black Country rivals, or would it be to test ourselves against Real Madrid or Barcelona? Do let me know in the comment section down below. Again, the best answers will be featured on next week. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until next time guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you all very, very soon.